Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 of the fucking dumbest bullshit fucking charges you could have possibly brought against the guy before the election. By such a wide margin, right? Like, of all the cases against him, of all whatever the pending charges and all that other bullshit, of all the things that don't matter, the biggest one is paying a porn star to say she didn't have sex with you. That is the lowest bar. Who cares? Porn stars get paid to fuck. I don't like. It's not that like that's the point of them, sort of, in a way. And it's also, if you are not a porn star and you fuck a porn star, then chances are better than average, at least, that you are going to pay that porn star to not say to anyone that they had sex with you.
Yeah, and the funny thing
wrong?
is, do you think that that would have even swayed anybody in the election back in 2016? No way, right?
It didn't. It came out in 2016.
Did it come out before the election? I thought it came out like right after.
I came out like during, I think. But that's
Well,
but it was like,
it's like Trump's probably kicking himself right now. He's like, God damn it, why did I fucking pay all of that money that didn't do any good for me except for getting me all of these convictions?
no, and somebody even said that if he hadn't told Michael Cohen to do it, then it wouldn't have been illegal, right? If he had like paid her out of his own pocket, then that wouldn't have been illegal.
Right. Yeah, no, he used the campaign finances or whatever.
So what a cheap fuck. Like it's like, what a cheap fucking bastard who is just reaping what he's sowing, right? Like it's like, I don't, on just the bones of it, right? I don't have a problem with any of this, right? I don't have a problem with it, right? It's not a problem for me. But that being said, I am also pro presidents going to jail after they are done being president. I think that should happen to every president.
Just automatically. No trial.
Automatically. No, it's just a list of the shit you did, right? That, I had to because I was president. They didn't. or let us judge you, right? Like it's an up down fucking popular vote thing, right? It's up down 50-50, yes or no. Should this person go to jail, right? Because I know.
I mean, honestly, we should probably just handcuff them and just ship them over to The Hague. And
let the rest of the world deal with it. Yes.
Yeah, let the ICJ decide what happens to
thing.
Ex-President Obama or Trump or whatever. Yeah, like that.
And it should happen to everyone, right? Like this is all the presidents, all prime ministers, all whatever. Fine,
all the Kingsmen.
Right? Let them get tried, right? Because there should be a punishment for the amount of hubris and and just like sheer fucking like fuck you.
Yeah.
Having that amount of power.
Right. But back to this trial, this verdict, I should say.
Well, this fucking horseshit.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's the stupidest of all of the trials other than the stolen documents thing, because that one is probably the stupidest, because the only reason it even became a thing is because he lied to the FBI about it and all that and let it get out of hand. If he had just said, oh yeah, I took some boxes of shit, come get it, Library of Congress, I don't give a fuck, they would have just came and got it and it would have been done. Especially after they found some in Biden's garage too. They literally can't. And
Yeah,
then
I mean that's like just stupid, right? That's
I
like
think they dropped that one though,
stupid.
didn't they?
No, well, that's coming. There's ethics charges coming against the judge on that one because
Oh,
the
yeah.
judge.
That one might not go anywhere, which is fine because it's stupid. But the one that I give a shit about is the election fraud shit. That's the only one that really means anything, honestly.
It's the only one that's worthy of prosecuting a former president for. But even that,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think is you're. I think that the other. I think that the Dems and the Libs are fucking playing a dangerous game here, and I think that they don't know it because they're fucking nerds,
Yeah,
right?
no, okay,
They're,
so I went down the store to get beer like 30 minutes ago. And the the lady who works there was talking about it to this other guy, this other customer, and
yeah,
they were talking about exactly like that, like just saying the same type of MSNBC commentator type stuff, like, oh, joking about the deep state and like how it's all, Biden conspiracy and all this stuff.
is it not? If that's what it's like, what the fuck is it then? Who gets to
Yeah, it's
make these
like,
decisions like that? It's unbelievable the short sightedness of the other power,
and also
right?
they're
Like
just like cheering it like this is a great thing, and it's like, well, this might backfire.
now,
Like it
yeah,
might
well, of course
not, but
it might backfire,
let's not
but it's
cheer
gonna.
yet.
I'm cheering because again, all former presidents should go to jail.
Sure.
Let this be the first one. Great, right? Let the Republicans go fucking crazy and try to like prosecute every president that comes afterwards. Yes, yes, absolutely. Biden, chains, put him in chains. Yes, like I am all for it. I let America become a banana republic in the eyes of the MSNBC people. Absolutely, please do that, right? And let everyone feel uneasy about it, right? Like fucking everybody that fucking runs for office and does campaign finance fraud every fucking election and that greases their wheels and fucking and lines their pockets. Let them all shake, right?
Yeah. No, I
Yes,
think that
good.
would be a good thing. You could, we can fucking do the same thing to Biden when he's out of office
Yes,
and
we
just
can.
try him for fucking
Yes,
aiding a
we
genocide or whatever the fuck you
can.
want. And
Yes,
then
we can.
make that the new president, and then people will think twice about just becoming president and doing a bunch of crimes after that.
Or
Hmm.
it'll
Maybe some.
redound it'll redound to the lowest common denominator where the fucking biggest morons in the world will be the only people who become president and then we can control them, right? Like it's like
I mean,
president should be a
Trump is
lever
kind of one of
pulling.
the biggest idiots.
Yes, he is. Why do you think he's the first one to fucking be facing charges? Like in
But no one
America, right?
controlled him though. Like he,
Dude, no, but this is what I'm saying.
I mean,
The
I guess
deep
the
state,
Republican
he's the
Party to a certain
first one. He's the first one that the deep state threw to the wolves after the fact. Like,
point.
whatever. Bush had a single digit approval rating. If there was ever anyone who like would have easily been put in jail, the majority of the country totally was like, dude, him, Cheney, throw them in jail. Throw them
Yeah,
in jail. They lied about wars. Throw them
yeah.
in jail.
They
Right.
created
And
a conspiracy theory involving Saddam Hussein being
uh,
involved with 9/11 and turned it into a
a
whole war.
straight up lie. right? Like no bones about it. They lied and told everybody they were gonna lie, right? Like
Right.
it was a whole thing, right? And and we have on the books. This is true. There's a law on the books that says that if the Hague, if the International Criminal Court uh, tries to prosecute a whatever a U.S. service member or like a U.S. politician or whatever, that we will bomb them. It's in writing. It's a law. It's a regular actual law. It passed all the places, right?
Yeah.
And let's test that shit. Yes, right. Like it's like fucking if the world has to go to war with America, I want to fight on the side of the world, right? And please come and
Sure.
get me, right? Like whatever, dude. Loot this fucking place for parks, dude.
Yeah.
Like yes, and let everybody who clutches their pearls about it go down with the fucking ship.
I mean,
Yes,
it's gonna happen eventually. You know, if it doesn't happen in our lifetime, it'll be like the next couple generations or whatever. But it's like this is the Roman Empire in the last,
yes,
decade or
no,
two of it. You know what I mean? It's like,
and Joe Biden is fucking Brutus and Cassius, and Donald Trump is Julius Caesar, right? Like it's this is the most like retarded version, right, of the Roman Empire. It's like it's totally geriatric old men fighting with their canes, while the rest of us are like, why doesn't someone kill them? Right? Like
right.
it's I don't like what like how is it that no one's tried? What fucking pussies are we? Like and
I hope
but
in like
okay,
1,000 years they look back on it and like they'll be writing poems about Trump and Biden like they're these mythical creatures and shit and
oh
like
god, yeah. And meanwhile, everybody in the afterlife is just rolling their fucking bones,
maybe
right? Like
that's what maybe Julius Caesar was just like a dumb fucking dumbass, like fucking
yeah,
Cheeto eating dumb
like
fuck
the
guys.
fucking the Roman Empire who says they were so great, right? Like whatever, right? Yeah,
I
there
don't
was
know. I don't
empires all
know
over
enough.
the place.
There's that like there was that trending like TikTok thing for a while where like girls were asking their boyfriends like, "How often do you think about the
Oh
Roman
yeah,
Empire?"
fucking
Yeah,
man.
and
I think my joke was that I think about that every day, not the Roman Empire. I think about that question. I think about the fact that other men think about the Roman Empire every day. I think about that every day.
well, yeah, that was like the point. Like everyone was just like, "Dude, is this really a thing? Like people think about this all the time?" It's like I don't know. I know like the basics, and it's easy to compare our current society with them because they
Yeah.
were the superpower then and we were and kind of still are sort of ish. So,
No,
but yeah,
this is what I've come to realize, right? It's American fucking brute force that
yeah,
is keeping everything from coming back on us.
right.
And it like it shouldn't. Like it, like Mal was right, right? Like America is a paper tiger. The Middle Eastern nations keep finding that out over and over again, right? Fucking Yemen, Palestine, even like they're not down and out there, right? Like they've done every fucking thing they could do to the Palestinians, and they're still Hamas is still managing to fire rockets at fucking Tel Aviv. Like
Yeah,
what the fuck? Like
yeah,
how bad are you guys? How bad are they at this? Right? Like it's
yeah.
unbelievable. And but
yeah, I mean, you have to wonder, like, as bad
Who's
as uh what Israel has done, like, are they showing any like, is there any restraint at all? Like, have they just gone full hog out? Let's try to do a genocide and not,
yes,
or are they like, like, we're gonna do as much as we can possibly get away with, and like calculating it like that? Like, that's the part I don't know. Like, are they trying
I
as hard
think
as they can? Not that it
they're
matters. The fact that
yeah,
they're
no,
doing it in the
yeah,
first
it
place.
doesn't either
But
way. Or
but
it's
it's I'm curious. Like, could it be worse? That's a question, because I mean,
yes,
obviously it could. I mean, obviously there's been worse genocides as far as
they could
numbers
nuke
and
the
all that
fucking
stuff.
place.
Right, right.
That's what we're and people have been talking about that, and it's like, oh, are we talking about that? We're just
Yeah.
talking about it like it's not something to be talked about. We shouldn't go over there and take away all their weapons immediately and fucking make them all fight with their hands. Like that's
So,
it's like
all right,
fucking
yeah. Well, so to get into the recent news, the ICJ a few days ago, I think it was Friday, said Israel needs to halt all operations in Rafah, and
yeah,
basically, and they don't have any teeth really, but they said, like, that we got warrants out for Netanyahu and other people, and like, if they go to these certain countries that recognize our legal system, then you're getting arrested, so you can't go to fucking Ireland anymore, whatever countries it is.
yeah, no, they
So
can't go to they can't. It's the same thing with Cheney and Bush. They can't
yeah,
leave their respective countries except to go to the other country, right? And
right, they can't go to like a lot of EU countries and shit. But what was I gonna say? So yeah, so there was that, and then of course, like, Sunday, like 2 days later, maybe the next day, Israel fucking bombs like a refugee camp, or basically just like a civilian like safety zone or whatever,
yeah,
and and like a fire started and killed all these people, and they're like, oh, that was a tragic accident or what. It's like, dude, how many fucking tragic accidents happen a day? Like, it's just
no, and
absolutely.
and aren't you supposed to be the fucking like the most? It's like they're supposedly the Israelis somehow managed to be bombing fish in a barrel,
Mhm.
but not they're oh well, with my hand slipped and whoops. Like it's like what the fuck? What they're the Three Stooges are at the controls over there? Like what the fuck? What's
Mhm.
going? Like it's like you expect me to believe that the height of military technology that has been tested on these very people in this very place, right? Like the whole surveillance state of Gaza has always been about testing fucking product,
Right.
right? So you're
Yeah.
telling me that you guys fucked up?
Mhm.
What? In what universe?
It's
Right?
like the
Like, and
CIA testing new drugs in Harlem or whatever back in
yeah,
the
well, no, and
60s or something. Like,
it's like no, it's not even that because this is an official thing, right?
right.
Like they're doing this on purpose, right? We have to get rid of Hamas, right? And it's like, well, where the fuck are they then? What the fuck? You guys have
Yeah.
had since October, right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't get fucking everybody you needed to get. You don't have files on every fucking person in there. Like
Yeah.
I
Like with
it's
this recent event, that was like something like 50 people died. Like, a bunch of them just burned to death. A bunch of them were children, of
yeah,
course. And
it's
then, and
all
it's like,
bullshit.
yeah, yeah. And then like they're like, oh, but we actually killed two Hamas guys. It's
Oh,
like, so you have to kill fucking 50 people to kill two Hamas guys? Is like, how is that justifiable? Like,
and
by any stretch of the imagination.
didn't they learn anything from America, right?
Right.
Like the more terrorists you kill in quotes with
Hmm.
collateral damage, the more terrorists you make, right?
Right. Yeah,
It's
like, they're just
fucking
creating ISIS P or whatever, ISIS
yeah, well,
Palestine is about to fucking
and
start up because of that shit.
fucking good. Right? Like this that's the other thing is like, dude, I have had it with this shit, right? Like it's fucking it's do or die for these people, and I don't blame them one bit for anything they do next. Right?